All right, so we've broken things down between, for a campaign for your content strategy, between the brand work, the high level strategy, and now we're getting down to a lower level strategy, execution. And so with execution, you have a media plan, right? You have a mix, a budget, and then a schedule. And so let's talk real quick about the mix, and we'll talk about designs and layouts and the mix at the same time right now. So the mix is going to say, what all do we want to create? And in this case, for example, I wrote down a few things here. So you have a blog, which can anchor all your content. So you write this long blog, and that's probably the longest thing you'll create, and that's going to have details, going to have some meaning, some good information, especially if you are interested in thought leadership. It's going to have some really good thought leading information that's going to teach people more than your competition will teach them. You might have a landing page, and the landing page is a really good place to send ads. So you might have a blog that talks about an aspect of something that you do, IT, an aspect of like IT security or something, right? Like evaluates a, let's say it evaluates the different cloud frameworks by their security features or their ease of use of security. I know I got frustrated because I was using Google Cloud and I couldn't understand the security. And so I had to give people extra permissions because it was the nuclear option. That's an aside, but that can be a problem, right? All right, I don't understand how to do this. It's so restrictive that I have to make it ultra unrestrictive and give everybody admin just so I can make sure that they can do their jobs. So let's say that's your goal here. So you write that blog, but then you point it to the landing page for your IT or for your security, your cloud security or whatever. And then this is the page where it's detailed enough to where you're talking to them about something they care about, they understand it, and now you're able to kind of bring them to a spot where now they're looking at this in detail, and then you have a call to action somewhere on the page, and now they get in touch with you. They give you a call, they email you, fill out the form, whatever. And so the landing page is kind of the destination. That's where they go right before they buy. And so it's also a great place to send ads. So let's say you made some social, but you didn't just ship it as social. You actually promoted or boosted the post, right? With LinkedIn, you can boost posts. So you have boosted posts. So you can pay money to have this post boosted, and so more people see it. So if you're going to do that, your call to action might be, hey, I want them to eventually end up at my landing page because that's probably where they're going to go and buy. All right, well, what if you're not doing any paid right now? So let's just mark that off. And you're doing a blog. Now, another nice thing to do is, I think one of the most important things here is having an email list. And the reason that it's an email, right? But the power is in the list, because with YouTube, you can, if they don't like you, they can take you down, and then they can make it so nobody sees your videos. They can block your account, close your account, whatever. Same thing with like Twitter and even LinkedIn. They could do that if they wanted to do that. But with email, you own it, right? You own the list. Nobody can take that list away from you. It's like having your own magazine with your own subscribers on it. You may not be charging them, but it's your own media channel. And so now if YouTube doesn't like you, it doesn't matter because you own the list. Okay, and then from that, so you create the blog, and then you say, okay, let's make this be the theme of this newsletter. You might even have a little note there to intro them to the blog, which maybe you have featured down here. And then you also, from the blog, you can create social posts. And a lot of times the blog is detailed enough to where you create the social post, you push them to your blog to find out more, right? And then maybe they go from the blog to the landing page because they're really interested, and it's been their like 7th time visiting your site, and now they're like, hey, I should probably I should probably talk to these guys, right? And now you have a sale. And so that's the way it's supposed to work. And so the media mix is just basically like, hey, what all are we going to do? Is it a blog, landing page, email, social? Maybe it's some ads too, right? So you might have some ads or boosted posts or paid media or whatever to get more people who haven't heard of you to join up. Okay, really the rest of it is pretty simple. The rest of the media plan is really simple. You have the budget, which just says how much stuff's going to cost, how much are we spending on media, and then you want to also add your production costs to that, because usually a budget doesn't include production costs. It's really just the media, what you're spending on media. So you add those two things together, and then you have the total cost. Schedule and topics. You could put the production budget in the budget as well. All right, schedule and topics. Now this is where it gets fun, because now you have a blog, and now you want topics. You want a year's worth of topics. And here's why I like to do this, because, well, I'm already thinking about the big plan. So here's what can happen. You write a blog post, and the blog post ends up being something that inspired you this month, right? But you don't have a big plan. So next month, it's whatever else inspires you. There could be a real mismatch in types of blog posts and even audiences that you're writing to month if you don't have a schedule of topics. And so while you're thinking in the same mindset, you want to create your list of topics, right? Of topics for the blog post. And what I like to do is write a title for each post. Then I write a little description of the post, so that then usually it's like, what's the problem we're solving, the problem the client has that we're solving. Why is it a problem? Why it's a problem? And then also, and then the solution. So if I have that in here, then I'm going to remember how to write the blog post. If I just write a title, then I won't have all that information. So then sometimes, what I'll do is I'll write 12 of those, one per month. And then you could even write sub-bullets if you want to write more per month. You can, create an outline. Here's another blog post that follows that same theme, or it's a 3-parter. This month is going to be IT security or Google Cloud, and then we'll talk about these 3 aspects: why we like Google Cloud, why we hate Google Cloud, and then what it's especially good for. Let's say what it's especially fitting for, kinds of companies it works best for. So let's say you do that. So there are other ways you can crack this code, but that's probably a good place to start. Write 12 months out while you're thinking about it, and then you're more likely to have the types of topics that feel like they fit together. There's one other thing, and I'm going to say write the book, and I might make a special video for that one. But for now, let's go ahead and tie this off.